Live across WA from the studios of 7 Perth, Susanna Carr.
Tonight, Perth's storm fury. Homes and buildings hit, roads flooded.
The tornado came straight through our building.
The ABC reporter arrested in Singapore, facing jail and 15 lashes. Plus, Qantas axes hundreds of jobs.
You're watching 7 News.
Good evening and welcome to 7 News. Perth has taken a battering from a big storm that ripped trees from the ground, damaged homes and flooded roads. Tonight, 2,000 homes across the city are without power. As Blake Johnson reports, it appears a tornado caused most of the damage.
The Swan River crashed over the Kwinana Freeway. One lane was shut to protect drivers travelling north. Cars were stuck in the city as Riverside Drive went underwater. The Weather Bureau warned us the storm was coming, but how can you prepare for this?
No, now I've been...
Jean Benson's home was battered.
Because I've got a 15-year-old dog and he's blind, and that was all I was worried about coming down the street was Buddy going to be all right? But yeah, it's just like, whoa.
The storm hit at 10 o'clock. Within minutes, damage was being reported across Perth.
I think the tornado came straight through our building, ripped out everything out here. The back, the bins have totally destroyed and moved. Everything's disappeared.
One of the worst hit areas, Elvira Street in Palmyra. The storm ripped out almost half a dozen trees. It'll take days to clean up this mess. Fremantle's historic Swan Hotel copped the storm as it hit the coast. The hotel came off second best. 100-kilometre-an-hour winds flipped cargo containers on their sides. This is Trinity College in the city. These luxury cars were on sale this morning. Jessie and Tanika Temin were sitting on these chairs when the glass wall behind them shattered.
Scary. I was mainly looking out the window, seeing what the storm was like.
And it just came down on top of you?
Just about.
What was the noise like when the storm hit?
Like a tornado. It really sounded like excruciating. It was the loudest noise I've ever heard in my life.
In White Gum Valley, a worker was injured when a wall collapsed on him. His hand was fractured.
He was working a machine just in the corner, and unfortunately, well, it happened that quickly. A few bricks fell on top of him.
That carport behind me obviously doesn't belong there. It was ripped off the house next door and landed in that yard, crushing the neighbour's boat.
Loud, noisy because of the branches and the fences, and it was scary.
At the peak of the storm, more than 23,000 homes and businesses were without power. Officially, Perth recorded less than 8 millimetres of rain. The Weather Bureau says rain gauges don't work well when it's too windy. The RAC has more than $300,000 in claims waiting to be processed. More claims are expected over the weekend. Blake Johnson, 7 News.
And as we go to air tonight, more bad weather is hitting Perth, and there's another warning from the Weather Bureau. Jeff Parry is in the city with the details. Jeff.
Susanna, to use a non-meteorological term, it's been damn windy here in the city, and let me give you some idea. We shot these pictures just about 10 minutes ago. It's a big construction crane in the city. I'd be guessing if I told you what that weighed, but as you can see from the pictures, the wind's pushing it around like a Meccano toy. Now, we can expect more winds tonight. What we're experiencing is what the Weather Bureau calls a cold pool. That's the weather conditions that follow a cold front that crossed the coast this morning. What can we expect from this cold pool? Well, more of the same. Rain, hail and very squally winds. There was a gust recorded a short time ago on Rottnest Island at 109 kilometres per hour, and that's the sort of range we can expect tonight for the next couple of hours at least. It's degrading very quickly, but those winds between 90 and 100 kilometres an hour can obviously cause damage to property, so obviously people should take caution, clean up their backyards or whatever they need to do. Now, it will degrade very quickly and it will be sunny tomorrow. Let me also tell you that those road closures today significantly. Riverside Drive, both directions, is now open. The old Fremantle traffic bridge in Fremantle is closed. Back to you.
Thanks, Jeff.
You've seen the pictures on the news. It was a wild Friday in Perth. The storm front crossed the coast at 10:30 this morning, dumping 4 millimetres of rain in 5 minutes. There's still a severe weather warning and a road weather alert, but believe it or not, we're in for a fine weekend. Currently outside it's 12.7 degrees, the sou'wester blowing at 35 kilometres an hour. Our minimum was 10.5 just before 5 a.m, another early maximum 17.9 just before the storm crossed the coast. Here are the temperatures across our city. I'll tell you about the rainfall. Since 9 a.m, 14 millimetres have been dumped on Kalamunda, just 8 mils in Mandurah, and officially only 5.4 in Fremantle. But the Bureau tells us the storm might have distorted the figures. And a happy 60th wedding anniversary tonight to Basil's, not Basil, but Basil's Uncle Mick and Auntie Lola Salakis. Congratulations to you both. Around WA today, tops in the 20s along most of the west coast, a bit warmer in the Kimberley, cold in the southwest and the south coast. For our friends down Albany way, snow is tipped to fall on the Stirling Ranges tonight. You can see the storm front that crossed the WA coast. It's moving towards the east now, still packing strong wind, rain and hail. The front should move off into the Great Australian Bight tomorrow morning, leaving wet and windy conditions down along our south coast. But the weather will fine up everywhere else with a high pressure system due on Sunday. If you're heading interstate, fine weather is forecast tomorrow in Sydney, Canberra, Brisbane, Darwin and Hobart, a shower or two in Melbourne and Adelaide. There's still a gale warning outside. South-southwesterly winds tonight, 25 to 35 knots, with squalls up to 60 knots. Tomorrow, southerly winds, 20 to 30 knots, becoming south-southeasterlies by midday and easing further during the afternoon. The swell getting up to 4.5 metres. So the forecast, wet and windy tonight, just a very early shower along coastal suburbs, clearing around sunrise. Saturday is looking fine, cool and partly cloudy, a low of 4 and a top of 15. Sunday will also be fine and cool, fine weather Monday and Tuesday, with showers developing on Wednesday and Thursday. Susanna, after the big blow today, not a bad weekend.
Sounds good to me, Mark. Thanks a lot. And that's the latest from the 7 News team on this Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Now here's Monica with Today Tonight.
Sue, thanks very much. Hello again. Good to have your company on this wild Friday night in Perth.